joined now on color commentary by Mike Slotky. Welcome to the broadcast position.
It's great to be here, Dave. Thanks for having me. It's been a couple of good matches so far, and now we continue the trend with Danny Daniels against Jimmy Jacobs.
Danny Daniels tonight set to take on the former Hussman, the former Berserker Kid, Jimmy Jacobs. Has dropped the furry boots and gotten a little bit more serious in his wrestling.
Yeah, Jacobs definitely going through a transition period, self-realization, figuring out what he wants to be. We'll see if that helps him any against
Chris Scoville to be your official in this bout.
Look at him! Look like he's robbing the convenience store.
No, Chris Hero's not wrestling 2 matches in a row.
He could.
Music Man, yeah, he could.
Yeah.
If he really wanted to. He usually wrestles for about the same time as 3 other matches would take up on a wrestling show.
I agree,
but
bring her out
no,
too.
he's Jimmy Jacobs. So Music Man, get it right.
Do I hear the strains of Fraggle Rock, Dave?
Jimmy Jacobs, yeah, he might have dropped the free boots, but he is still just as weird as always.
Most definitely. It had been a while since I heard any programming from, HBO, the HBO children's section of the 80s.
And you look at his tights, sort of like a wrestling spandex equivalent of a Red Bull can, with the blue and gray, with the yellow and red symbol on the gluteus maximus region of Jimmy Jacobs.
So instead of taking Danny Daniels, Dave, to Space Mountain, it looks like Jimmy Jacobs is going to try and take Danny Daniels to Fraggle Rock. That place that we can only dream of.
Fraggle Rock Island, yeah. As the Fraggle Rock chant goes up here in Rock Island. Last time here in Rock Island, Danny Daniels took on Ace Steel in an excellent hold-for-hold bout. Videotape currently available at smartmarkvideo.com.
Both of these guys, Dave, really need to bring their A game if they want to defeat each other. That's the kind of competitors they are. And Daniels and Jacobs, definitely no slouches in there. And each one's going to try to get the upper hand early on.
Have built names for one another and for themselves on the independent scene. Ring of Honor here in IWA Mid-South, or excuse me, I get a little bit used to saying that. Here in NWA Midwest, NWA Mid-South, NWA No Limits. They both competed for NWA Revolution, which runs in the LaSalle area, formerly Revolution Championship Wrestling. Both have competed for Mid-American Wrestling, another NWA Midwest affiliate up in Milwaukee. As right now, Danny Daniels holding on to the wrist of Jacobs. He turns that around on Daniels, takes him down with the arm.
Jacobs looks to be slowing down Daniels. That looks to be his game plan, at least in the early outset, slowing him down, not letting him get any offensive flurries.
No flurries, not quite yet. Give it a couple months. Maybe here in Rock Island it will be a little bit snowy. Holding onto the arm of Daniels.
You do have to like the game plan early on, though, Dave. Take out the arm of Daniels, which is a big chunk. You know, any of the appendages would be a big chunk of your offense. But Daniels seems to have reversed the trend here.
And if Daniels has no arm, can't get him up for his trademark assortment of pile drivers, which he likes to put to use.
Doing it with one hand would be considerably more difficult, yeah.
Feeling out process right here as Jacobs down in hammerlock position. Daniels rolls through on it. Both men back to their feet. Schoolboy play by Daniels. Rolls Jacobs up, but only 2. Back to his feet, right into the arm drag goes Daniels.
And the longer this match goes, Dave, we'll see how the offense of Jacobs against Daniels, but specifically the arm, rolls out in this second half of the match here.
Holding onto the wrist lock is Daniels. Jacobs trying to take out the leg, has hold of it. Going for like a standing version of the STF. Right in the center of the ring, Daniels nowhere near the ropes.
Whether you're standing or sitting down in a painful position, it probably really hurts.
Ringing away on the arm now is Jacobs. As Daniels contemplates his next move. Still to come tonight, it will be Nate Webb to take on B-Boy. First time those two will do battle one-on-one anywhere in wrestling. Jacobs sent to the ropes. Daniels ducks his head, leapfrog by Jimmy Jacobs, boots him into the midsection. Daniels looking to elevate him with a belly to back. No, Jacobs lands on his feet, going for the state roll. Daniels holds on to that top rope. Step over by Daniels, right to the arm drag of Jacobs.
Would you say that, I think I'd have to say that Jacobs right now is ahead on points here, Dave.
Well, all it really matters in the end is who gets the 1, 2, 3. Jacobs has command of the bout thus far. He is the smaller competitor in this match. Now shoulder blocks to the midsection of Jacobs. Trying to make it hard for Jimmy to breathe. Ducks out of the way of that chop. Daniels picks him right back up. Ducks out of the way of the kick. Lands one of his own.
That's not going to do Daniels any favors.
And now he's hustling, but Jacobs not really getting into it himself.
Yeah, that was a bit of a taunt there.
Reversal of the Irish whip. Jacobs sent to the ropes. Flying forearm. Arriba. Daniels out to the floor as Jacobs now looking for something high impact. With the baseball slide drop kick, Daniels saw it coming. Moved out of the way. Into the ring they go. Daniels going for the elbow drop. Jacobs saw that coming. Brings himself back into the ring. Sunset flip. It's a near fall. Daniels back on his feet. Right into the arm drag once again. Jacobs persistent with the arm drag. Again, holding onto the arm and barring.
Persistent and, again, just grounding Daniels as best he can. And he's thinking ahead here. He's playing a smart game.
Daniels back to his feet. Backs Jacobs into the ropes. Versus the whip. Daniels sent in. Boot to the midsection. Jacobs hits the ropes now. Modified rocker dropper with the knee across the back of the head, driving the face into the canvas, but only 2. Headbutt from Jacobs. We know he has a hard head.
Well, due to the cross-eyed look that Daniels gave, probably really hurt.
Chest meets canvas right there as Daniels just plants him, puts a stop to Jacobs' offense. Chris Scoville applies a count. Daniels back up.
Really, for one of the first instances in the match, Dave, Daniels seemed to be having the upper hand.
Took away Jacobs' speed, and now gutbuster right across the knee. Lateral press, but gotta hook the leg, man. Only 2. Daniels looking to wear him down. Seated version of an abdominal stretch right here. Adding the slaps for additional punishment. Add a little insult to injury. Referee getting right in there to see if Jacobs needs to give it up here. Crowd getting behind Jacobs. Back to his feet. Headbutt. Trying to break free of Daniels' grasp. Elbows to the midsection. Still can't get away from him. It looked like the back of Jacobs' head connected with the knee right there. Daniels measuring Jacobs' chop. Brutal chop right across the chest.
I think you can hear that one in Moline, Dave.
Jacobs takes the buckle. Running forearm strike from Daniels. Jacobs basically out on his feet. The drop kick sends him right back down.
Got him right in the stomach, too. Daniel certainly enjoying his moment in the spotlight. Let's see how long it lasts here in this match.
Only 2. Jacobs able to get that shoulder up. Trying to pull himself up by the ring ropes. Forearm shot from Daniels once again. But Jacobs fires back. Just duking it out. Gotta hand it to Jacobs, staying on his feet. And trading shots with Danny Daniels. Goes right to the eyes. He didn't really have to.
Well, that's a version of toe-to-toe. That's kind of a slugfest.
Sort of like toe to eye. Finger to eye. $1 Million Dream? What? Version of the Cobra Clutch, swinging with Jacobs.
Oh. The swinging dream.
Lateral press. Only 2. Jacobs trying to shake off the effects. Elbow to the rib cage of Danny Daniels. Forearm shot. Jacobs staying on his feet, trying his best. Another chop to the chest. Daniels sends Jacobs in. Elevates him, but Jacobs connects with the drop kick.
That might be the shift in momentum that Jacobs needed to get an upper hand on Daniels again.
See if he can keep the momentum. He's got to follow up.
That may be the opening. I think the opening just closed, Dave.
Daniels with the hook of the leg. No, Jacobs gets that shoulder up. Daniels looking a little bit frustrated that he can't put Jacobs away just yet. Ties up the legs.
Well, I certainly thought he had him there.
We're looking for a bow and arrow right here.
Jacobs' body racked with pain.
Right into a cover of his own, though. Jacobs doesn't know where he's at. Handful of hair by Daniels, slowly pulling him back up. Looking to finish him off right here. Elevates him, no. Jacobs staying on his feet. Modified STO out of the lariat. Took out the leg while driving Daniels down to the canvas.
This seemed to shake both guys up.
And Jacobs definitely favoring that knee as referee Chris Scoville applies a double count. Daniels the first one up, but Jacobs strikes first. He can keep this flurry coming. Big lariat takes Daniels down, and again. Daniels back up, looking for a neck breaker. Got all of it, folded Daniels in half. Another headbutt from Jacobs. As Daniels reversal the Irish whip, Jacobs sent in, goes through the legs. Bulldog!
I don't know if that's the cover you want to get to put away Danny Daniels there.
Jacobs needs to keep the offense coming, follow up on this flurry right here. Chop right to the noggin. And again, has Daniels staggered, says bring it on. And goes to the eyes, taking a page out of Daniels' playbook. And now Jacobs looking to go up top. Off the top rope with the chop, that count finally takes him down. But only 2.
Jacobs could follow it up here from that chop off the top rope. Daniels could be in trouble.
Looking for the modified pedigree right here. Trying to hook the arms and go for it, but Daniels counters out of it. Modified neck breaker. Cradles the leg of Jacobs. Right down across the knee. The back of the head of Jacobs once again. Almost 3 right
Very
there.
close.
A lot of resiliency in Jacobs. Momentum back in Daniels' favor right here. It's probably thinking, soften him up for that pile driver. Chop across the chest of Jacobs. Holds on to Daniels, though. Neck breaker across the knee. Daniels staggered. Jacobs looking for a spinning DDT, but Daniels countered the momentum. Now they're just duking it out.
Jacobs not in the favorable position in this exchange.
Daniels all the way up top as well. Superplex. Oh, it looked like a double pin situation right there as both men's shoulders were down on the canvas.
It would have been a toss-up there. Now both guys gasping for air. Both guys taking a good amount of punishment here, Dave.
Chris Scoville applies a double count.
The Fraggle Rock.
Island. Jacob strikes. Daniels fires back. Headbutt from Jacob. Knee to the midsection from Daniels. Lines up. Jacobs blocks. Boot to the midsection. Looking for the contra code. No, Daniels counters it. Up on the shoulders of Daniels. Looking for that modified pedigree, and he gets it this time. Hooks the leg. Oh, too close to the ropes. Daniels' foot over the bottom rope.
Got to hand it to Daniels, knowing where he is in that ring at all times, Dave.
Jacobs can't put him away. See if he can get that contra code. The contra code is what earned him the IWA Light Heavyweight Championship just about a week and a half ago. And has earned him many victories in competition. Going forward right here, Daniels counters it right into the pile driver. That could be it right there. 2. No, Jacobs kicks out.
Where did Jacobs get that?
Digging down deep for the energy to stay in the matchup. Crowd getting behind Jacobs once again.
Dave, Daniels got to be wondering, what else can I do to put this guy away?
Contemplating his next move. Daniels
He
go up top.
had a little sneer on his face. I think he's got it.
But Jacobs meets him. Or he's able to go for anything off the ropes. Chop across the chest of Danny Daniels. Measures him, lands a shot, does Jacob. And another headbutt. Series of headbutts. Trying to knock him a little bit silly. Pile driver off the ropes. Jacobs trying to block it. Maybe a top rope Rana from Jimmy Jacobs. He gets it. Rolls through. Jacobs with the bridge. And 3. Jimmy Jacobs. It was all about momentum right there as he scored the pinfall following the top rope Rana.
All it took was a simple counter move. And Jacobs gets out victorious. Daniel's still wondering what the hell happened. Still can't believe it. That's a 3 in any language, though.
Jimmy Jacobs, hard-fought matchup. Could have gone either way, right down to the last split second. That last pinning combination that earned Jimmy Jacobs the 1, 2, 3 to walk away your winner.